another good, as a matter of fact, now I think about it, I got a lot of work to do after I finish all this crap. I got to do represent. When I did my Speedback video, I thought about represent in hip-hop. But hip-hop also has the notion of freestyling. The freestyle is huge in hip-hop. So, I'm going to do freestyle. I can't believe I haven't done freestyle. But, yeah, anyway, this is me freestyling. So this is all me coming up with some stuff. Now, think about it. We have a trainee, right? T-R-A-I-N-E-E. So we have trainee 1, right? And trainee 1 wants to become an agent. So that there are steps to become agent 1. So trainee 1 has to go through steps, and after trainee 1 finishes going through those steps, trainee 1 becomes agent 1. It's very simple, right? I want to join the Department of Defense. I am a regular dude. What do I have to do? I have to go through whatever it is that they have set up, background check, blah, 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 do 50 push-ups, run a mile, who knows, right? I gotta do, and probably really advanced, like, you know, intellectual assessment. Those guys are pretty brainy, right? So trainee 1 wants to become agent 1, but in order to become agent 1, bureaucrats have structured a system in which you become an agent. Obvious, right? Just to make it even more obvious, just so that everybody understands. My students are regular students. They want to become, like me, they want to become PhDs. The institution has built a process of converting students into PhDs. If you go through all of the steps, if you satisfy all of the requirements, at the end, you'll be a PhD. Similarly, the trainee has the goal of becoming an agent, and the way that you become an agent is by going through the steps. These steps are in no sense, this is very important, these steps are in no sense arbitrary. They are rigidly defined, right? There are certain criteria that have to be met. If those criteria are met, you will not become an agent. There's certain criteria that have to be met. If those criteria are met, you're not going to become a PhD. So, obvious, right? You get it. Now, trainee 2. Trainee 2. Trainee 2 wants to become an agent as well, but an agent for a different agency, for agency number 2, right? So trainee 2 wants to become agent 2, and same thing. They want to go through the steps to become agent 2. So you can imagine that this is steps to become a CIA agent, steps to become an FBI agent, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea, right? There is a rigid process that is not flexible, nor should it be flexible, for you to satisfy conditions in order to become an FBI agent. There are rigid steps that are not flexible, nor should they be flexible, for you to become a member of the CIA agency. Trainee 1 becomes agent 1. Obviously, agent 1 is in agency 1. Trainee 2 becomes agent 2, obviously in agency 2. Traditional model, this is obvious. This is what happens day to day in our intelligence community and our government and our military and academia and basically everywhere. Right? This is the traditional model across the board. Now, what I want to say is that if you really want to talk about interagency, now granted there's going to be financial complications in attempting, and actually I don't think I put financial, foreign interagency coordination. I am actually going to amend that. 5, I have to amend that. Finance, money, I have to amend that. I just thought about that. So I'll change that to 5 too, my bad. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I know there was more. So I'm going to change, just a quick aside, on page 24, I'm going to go back and change 4 impediments to interagency coordination to 5, and the 5th being finances. And I'll talk about budget stuff, because this stuff is going to cost money, right? This stuff is going to cost money. That money got to come from somewhere, so I just thought about that. Money, obviously, is going to inhibit what you can and can't do with respect to interagency coordination, especially the next thing that I'm about to propose, I would imagine would cost money. Maybe not a lot, but it would. Now, here is the new system that I'm thinking. Imagine that we begin where this left off. The product, if you will, of this traditional model. So this is the traditional model, and here's the product. The traditional model produces agents. Traditional model produces agents. Traditional model produced a CIA agent. Traditional model produced an FBI agent, just as an example. So where this new model that I'm classifying as an interagency model, this is just me freestyling again, where this model starts, it starts at the end of this model. So we're going to take this and bring this down. We're going to take agent and bring it down, right? So we begin where this left off. So we'll start with agent 1. And because we start with agent 1, we already know that all of this is already built into the concept of agent 1. Agent 1 was a trainee. Agent 1 went through all the steps in order to become agent 1, satisfy all those conditions, and is now actively agent 1, right? So this interagency model begins where this one left off. And then we have agent 2. Now, if you really want to talk about interagency, what I am suggesting that you do is you put agent 1, well, let's start with, it doesn't really matter, but just so it is consistent, let's put 2 on top, 2 and 1. You put, let's say, agent 2, you put agent 2 through the steps to become agent 1. Think about this. You put agent 2 through the steps to become agent 1. In a sense, it's like agent 2 is a trainee, in a sense, because agent 2 hasn't gone through these steps. But if you put agent 2 through the steps to become agent 1, right? So we'll say steps for 1, then what you get as a byproduct is agent 2, who's primarily agent 2, but who has also satisfied the conditions for agent 1. The thing is, the reason why this is important, I think, is it's in the training of and the transformation of sort of interns or students or trainees into agents. It's in that training. That training is what is important. I do this for a living, right? It's in the training that you become the agent. It's not the fact that you got the badge or you got the PhD on the wall. But a PhD on the wall isn't crap. I don't care about that. That's not important at all, right? It's the training I received, right? It's the fact that I had an amazing cast of professors that gave me everything I needed to why I'm the monster I am today. So the whole point is, if you really want to be on your A game and you really want to talk about interagency coordination, then someone goes through the CIA training, becomes a CIA agent, and then put that person through the FBI training, whatever it is. I don't know if it's a boot camp, I don't know if it's intellectual stuff, it's probably both the same. And the stuff that they've already satisfied, it's sort of like you grandfathered in. We do this in academia. You want to continue your education, you already have a master's degree, we provide a doctorate degree where there's overlap of the classes that you've already met. Okay, fine, you don't have to do those. However, here's what's special and you haven't satisfied that, you need to satisfy that. Put agent 2 through the steps to become agent 1, and now the product, this is someone who is truly interagency, right? Interdepartmental. This agent truly has an understanding of both agencies. It's not simply like the former liaison model where I'm sort of playing house for a day, and I'm not trying to demean it or knock it. I would have never even come up with this idea unless I really read through the liaison model. But what happens is, through physically putting the person through the requirements, the rigorous, non-flexible requirements to become an agent of some other organization, you really know what it means to be an agent of 2 organizations, right? Why not do that? That's just great. Or why not select a few people to do that? Or if we're talking about this group that is going to disseminate information and serve as sort of the locus of control of information transference, then all the members of that group should go through, 2-3 year long process of, going through different agencies. Go through all the boot camps for those agencies. Talk to you in 2 years. Those people would be monsters. They would be unstoppable. It would just, it'd be amazing. It'd cost a lot of money though. Maybe not a lot of money. I mean, seriously. I mean, you think about taking a test, it's Xerox paper, it's PDFs, that doesn't cost nothing. Maybe, freaking physical test, that doesn't really, I can't really say that it would cost a lot, except for the time, right, the time. But, you're talking about your most valuable people, so you put your MVPs together, and they all are not just I'm spending a day in your shoes, but I am literally